As expected, Apple just became another casualty as WWDC is going to go for alternatives. The OnePlus 8 Pro was just spotted in the wild, and we have a possible launch date, and some new leak specifications show up for the HUAWEI P40 Pro premium variant capabilities. I'm Jaime Rivera. It's Friday, sadly not a day to celebrate. It is an emergency almost everywhere. So much so that I'm trying to just be funny about it with those whole Jason jokes and Friday the 13th, but nah, this is Pocketnow Daily. The official news today begin with deals, and we're actually going to start it off at B&H because these are actually more compelling than the ones that we've caught on Amazon lately. Like, for example, we have the 10.5-inch iPad Air, which is $180 off, leaving the 256GB variant for $599. The Samsung Galaxy A90 is also available for $450, which is a solid $300 discount for the 128GB variant. And moving on to Amazon, the Acer Predator Helios 300 gaming laptop is $330 off, which means you get it for $1,169. And well, we've got deals for Sennheiser headphones and other products in the links in the description. Now let's move the spotlight over to the fact that one of the main reasons why I would ever want to use a tablet is for features like Apple Pencil, Styli, styluses, or whatever you want to call them. Think about it, it's one of the reasons why I love the Galaxy Note, but then it's one of the reasons why I wish that the Galaxy Fold had the added functionality. As it turns out, there is a new patent that just emerged, which was granted back in June, and it shows a folding phone with an internal pen receiver. The patent also describes a foldable Galaxy Note, so could it be that we might just be getting a Galaxy Note foldable and that's the future of the Galaxy Fold, which makes a lot of sense if you think about it. I just hope they don't charge the same amount of money. We'll see. Now let's move the spotlight over to HUAWEI, as I did want to go to Paris for their event. Sadly, that's not going to happen for obvious precautions, but the thing about it is we hear more information on that P40 Premium that we heard about earlier but didn't really have specifications on. The phone just appeared on a South Korean retail website. The specifications include a 6.7-inch 120Hz display, a Kirin 990 5G SoC, 12 gigs of RAM, 512 gigs of storage. It will bring a 52-megapixel main sensor, and then we hear of a 40-megapixel additional lens in addition to another 8-megapixel. In addition, we also hear of a 3D time-of-flight sensor, and by the way, that telephoto is definitely going to be periscopic. At the front, we should be getting a 32-megapixel selfie shooter in addition to a time-of-flight sensor, and apparently it'll also bring a 5,500 milliamp hour battery and support 50-watt fast charging. It sounds like a beast. Let's just hope you're able to use the damn beast outside of China. And how about if we discuss the recent leaks, as the man himself, Michael Fisher, aka Robert Downey Jr., was just spotted in the wild with a very familiar phone. We do assume that this is the OnePlus 8 Pro, which is not necessarily a good thing, as it looks a lot like the OnePlus 7 Pro. The picture was posted by director Sam Jones and was taken down quickly, but some people obviously were able to keep the image. The design still looks pretty much like the 7 Pro again, and we also have a new report that claims that we might see the device on April 15th, but the OnePlus 8 Lite might be affected by the outbreak and would launch until later this year. Let's see what happens, as obviously launches right now are kind of crazy. Now let's go through your typical coronavirus update as how it affects the tech sector. We do know that it did cause a lot of issues in China, but now it's becoming more of a pandemic outside of China. And it seems that Chinese authorities have been able to contain things, and we start hearing some good news, I guess, if you could put it that way. It seems that, for example, everything isn't going so bad for Apple, as Foxconn factories are going back to work in China and Vietnam. Foxconn says that they are exceeding expectations, but the closure of factories did cost them $1.6 billion. Their main concern right now is that the market won't buy many iPhones as they normally would, as obviously right now people are more concerned about buying toilet paper in excess for reasons we don't understand than buying anything else. We'll see how that goes. And finally, the saddest news today, one more time with your coronavirus update, is regardless of everything that's going on at Foxconn, we were expecting for Apple to not cancel or not postpone WWDC, given the fact that it happens until June. But, well, it still will happen, just not the same way. Apple just sent out press invitations for an online-only event. The company stated that they decided to create a new format due to the circumstances. The event will happen in June, but the company has not provided any specific date yet. We are expecting to see iOS 14, some new announcements on iPadOS, tvOS, and we might also see the iPhone 9 as the March event was reportedly canceled. Think about it as if you see the design of the invitation, it shows pretty much the back of a Mac, or it could be the back of an iPad. It's really hard to tell right now, but the thing about it is, let us know in the comments down below, what do you think about companies moving their events online all the way up to June? At first I thought it was an overreaction, but the thing about it is, the more I learn about the coronavirus, the more I learn that this is the responsible thing to do. A lot of people think that, yeah, buy hand sanitizers and don't touch people and put on a face mask. That's what we all thought, but I highly recommend that you watch Joe Rogan's most recent podcast. I'll try to link it here somewhere for you to be able to see just how this virus propagates. It actually is a lot more delicate than that. And I feel that this is definitely the most important thing to do. So definitely stay safe and do watch the podcast. I do highly recommend it, and let us know in the comments down below how you feel about this. Friends, again, if you want to get the news earlier, follow us on Pocketnow.com and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this one. Also, follow us on social medias. Our extended coverage happens on Instagram, and follow me as I take precautions with the coronavirus. Please give this video a thumbs up if you like what you saw. I'm HUAWEI P40. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next week.